most places around the world, political leaders surround themselves with armed security, bulletproof vehicles, and keep their distance from ordinary people. But in one corner of Africa, something completely different is happening. In Burkina Faso's center-west region, specifically in a place called Ouagadougou, the people themselves have decided to become the protection for their leader. This isn't about paid security forces or professional bodyguards. This is about regular citizens who love their president so much that they're willing to put their own lives on the line to keep him safe. The leader they're protecting is Captain Ibrahim Traoré, and what's happening around him represents something we haven't seen in Africa for a very long time. Yesterday morning in Ouagadougou, something extraordinary took place. The streets filled with thousands of people who came out to show their support and demonstrate their loyalty. Men and women of all ages, from elderly grandparents to young children, gathered together chanting one message: "We stand with Traoré." They came on foot, riding bicycles, packed into trucks, all wearing the national colors. Many carried flags, while others held banners or wore t-shirts with Captain Traoré's face printed on them. This wasn't an ordinary political rally. This was a massive gathering of people who genuinely believe their leader represents their hopes for a better future. At the heart of this gathering stood something significant. The people had built a roundabout with their own hands. They didn't wait for government contractors or foreign aid organizations. They gathered stones, mixed concrete, and constructed this roundabout themselves using nothing but their own labor. But this roundabout means much more than just infrastructure. To the people who built it, this structure represents their independence and refusal to accept outside control. It's a physical monument that says, "This land belongs to us, this struggle belongs to us, and this president belongs to us." At the center of this roundabout, they placed a powerful symbol, perhaps a statue or flag, representing the power of united people. And surrounding this roundabout are special groups of young men and women who have organized themselves into community militias. These aren't professional soldiers, they're ordinary citizens who have taken it upon themselves to protect this space and watch over everything that happens there. Their mission is to guard the roundabout, keep their eyes open for anything suspicious, and most importantly, protect the life of Captain Ibrahim Traoré with their own lives if necessary. One elderly man stepped forward with tears in his eyes and said that before anyone tries to harm their president, they'll have to climb over the dead bodies of the people first. This wasn't just dramatic language, this was a genuine promise. A mother brought her young son to witness what real loyalty looks like, so that when he grows up, he'll know how to defend his homeland. These words came straight from the hearts of people who truly believe in what they're doing. So why are these people willing to go to such extreme lengths? The answer lies in Burkina Faso's painful history. For decades, their nation was controlled by foreign interests, particularly France and other Western powers. The country was buried under crushing debt and fed constant promises that never materialized. For too long, Burkina Faso's leaders sold out their own people for approval in Paris and Washington, while ordinary citizens struggled to survive. But Captain Ibrahim Traoré represents something completely different. He refused to bow to foreign pressure. He rejected the control that outside powers wanted to maintain over Burkina Faso. He said, "No more exploitation, no more interference, and no more betrayal." Instead of looking to foreign capitals for approval, he turned directly to his own people. He gave them back their national pride and dignity. Under his leadership, they've seen improvements in roads, hospitals, schools, and agricultural support. But more than these concrete things, he's given them hope that a different future is actually possible. Traoré didn't just talk about sovereignty like so many African leaders before him. He actually took action to make it real. So now, the people are responding in the most powerful way they know how. They're forming a human shield around him, putting their own safety at risk, defending what they call the revolution with their own bodies and their absolute belief in the cause. This roundabout has become much more than concrete and stone. It has transformed into a living symbol of patriotism and resistance. The special militias standing watch aren't mercenaries being paid. They haven't been trained by foreign advisors. These are sons and daughters of Burkina Faso who patrol not for salary, but out of genuine loyalty to their country and leader. Every day, these young militia members scan the horizon with watchful eyes and determined hearts. One of them made a pointed reference to Thomas Sankara, another beloved leader who was assassinated in 1987. He said, "They will not allow Sankara's fate to repeat itself. If anyone tries to harm Traoré, they'll have to go through the people first." Another militia member, barely 19 years old, explained that his parents died in poverty, but now he can see hope for a better future, and he's willing to give his life so others can live to see that future. To Western governments, especially France, and others who still dream of controlling Africa through indirect means, the message from Burkina Faso should be clear. The era when coups could be planned in foreign embassies is ending. The time when outside powers could simply choose which African presidents would stay or go is crumbling. We're entering a new age where popular power actually matters. Burkina Faso is not for sale anymore. Traoré cannot be pressured into compromise, and the people are not afraid. Commune Ouagadougou has spoken for the entire nation. The people will not trade away their dignity for dollars from foreign donors. They will not give up their sovereignty for false promises. And they will not let their leader fall to the same kind of assassination that has taken down so many African leaders before. When the people look at Traoré, they don't just see an individual man, they see an entire movement. They see their own dreams reflected in his actions, their own pain acknowledged in his speeches, their own potential victory in his rise. He's not a president protected by professional bodyguards. He's a captain protected by an entire nation. And that makes him far more dangerous to foreign interests than any weapon ever could be. When ordinary people unite with this level of dedication, no amount of military drones, diplomatic pressure, or propaganda can defeat them. The world needs to remember what happened in Commune Ouagadougou. This was the day when a population drew an unbreakable line around their leader and told the world, "You shall not pass." Every African leader should pay attention. This is what real leadership earns, not just applause or votes, but deep allegiance and sacred vows. In Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré isn't walking alone. He walks with 1,000,000 voices behind him. And if danger approaches, it won't find just one man. It will find an entire population ready to sacrifice everything. This is the people's shield. This is the Traoré generation. Burkina Faso is rising.